So, rocked by allegations of fraud by short seller Hindenburg Research, Gautam Adani's flagship firm today recorded a $2.5 billion share sale, becoming India's largest follow-on public offering. The shares were oversubscribed by 112%, a reflection of the trust in the brand, or that's what the brand said. The stakes were high for Adani, who has already suffered one of the world's biggest ever declines in personal wealth, and a successful deal signals that he still has the ability to attract investors. In fact, the FPO got the backing from non-institutional investors as well, with the subscription of over 32% of the shares reserved for them. A failure to meet the fundraising goal would have been a major blow to Adani's prestige and market prospects, as it comes just days after Hindenburg Research Group claimed that the group was engaged in brazen stock manipulation for decades, allegations that were summarily dismissed as mischievous by the chairman.
Sir, today we have seen that Hindenburg's that controversy is going on. You have already given a very long clarification on this thing. Anything you want to convey, because you feel that it's an attack on India?
Besides, basically, of course, it is attack on India is one part, but ultimately, end of the day, we have completed our FPO irrespective of what basically they have said, and I am really thankful to all our investors.
Now, the business world battles have also sparked a political slugfest, with the opposition parties alleging state patronage and collusion behind the alleged fraud.
And this is something which the LIC management should also take it up very seriously. And why don't we do an ED and CBI investigation on this? Who's stopping them?
What reply Mr. Adani is giving just to satisfy his shareholders, it is not important. I have already demanded a joint parliamentary committee should be constituted by the government and it should be investigated.
भारत सरकार को चाहिए कि अविलंब अडानी के जो शेयर्स गिर रहे हैं उस पर लगाम के लिए सरकार के स्तर से जो LIC और SBI को माध्यम बनाया गया है उस पर रोक लगाई जाए, और अडानी जैसे जो कंपनियां सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने लाभ के लिए भारत में अपने हिसाब से काम कर रही है उस पर रोक लगाई जाए.
While facing the opposition's onslaught, the BJP has highlighted how the very same parties who are today gunning for Adani show no compunctions while accepting the same group's investment.
Well, they have been selective on the subject, and there's no harm they can raise the issue in the parliament, but why being selective? When it comes to the Congress ruled states, then the agenda is different, and when it comes to other part of the country, the agenda is different. It categorically shows that agenda is not a particular businessman, agenda is somewhere else. But let that process happen and let the truth come out. But fact is that they are doing it selectively. But when it comes to Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh, they have different angle to it. When it comes to other states, they have a different dimension to it.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Okay, Ravi Srivastava and Akash Deepmuni continue with us. We are joined by author Anurag Naidu. My first question is Tushar Gupta, senior editor of Swaraj, because Tushar, you also track the markets and you track the economy. Is it fair for the group to claim vindication just because they've been oversubscribed?
Well, absolutely. Why not? If the Hindenburg report was any true, the investors, be it the institutional investors or the retail investors, all of them would have stayed away. But the FPO today has been oversubscribed. And if you look at Adani, everyone is talking about Adani, and in India we have a lot of young investors who get rattled by this news. If you look at the share prices of Netflix, which is something we all know about, Facebook, you look at the share prices since the beginning of the pandemic and where they are today, and the volatility that has been witnessed, especially with respect to the big tech shares. It's way more than what Adani has seen in the last 4 days. But are these companies not credible? Are these companies not generating revenue? Are these companies working against the cause of the nation? Are these companies being supplied by some, favorable government? Absolutely not. That's how the share market works, fortunately or unfortunately. That's how investor money works, and that's the risk the investors want to take. So today, when the FPO has been oversubscribed, what I don't understand is why still some opposition parties want the center to interfere in Adani's private business.
Okay, Ravi Srivastava, opening point, first of all, none of the charges have stuck because clearly investors still have confidence in the company. Just like ultimate validation for a neta is at The ballot box, the EVM, the ultimate validation for a businessman is the trust of his or her investors.
The ultimate trust of the investor will be seen on the Sensex, on the stock market, that how far Mr. Adani can sustain. Last few days, 3 lakh crores worth of capital has been already lost. Now, whose loss is that? Which investor's loss is that? Which government's loss is that? Whose money has been burnt? I saw one cartoon yesterday only that there was Adani's share available on the stock market is 2,800 rupees and the FPO is for 3,200 rupees and people are queuing up for 3,200 rupees share. What kind of sanity is this? There is nothing. There is a crony capitalism. Mr. Adani has grown beyond proposition because of only his connivance with the ruling government at this moment. Mr. Modi using his aircraft, Mr. Modi providing him all kind of assistance.
So hold on a second, let me just understand, and I'm asking you this purely as a layperson. If you yourself are saying, sir, that somebody loses share market value, the common man suffers, then why are you so happy with the shares falling? And why are you giving so much credibility to a report that is leading to those shares falling? Because ultimately it's the common man who suffers.
I'm saying because this is happening to Mr. Adani. This has not happened to Tata, this has not happened to Birla, for that matter. Why? Ask me a question.
But it is happening because there is a report which the company has called a malicious hate job.
Exactly.
Which you are now backing.
No, that is where the government role comes in. When Movement SEBI started the proceedings against Adani's investigation 2 years before, where are the reports?
Okay, Tushar, respond.
Why not?
Respond and also clarify. Tushar Gupta.
Investigate it immediately.
Padmaja, here is an interesting perspective. Padmaja, all the critics and everyone in the opposition is saying that Adani is getting favors from the government of the day. That is what they are claiming. My simple question as a layman, as someone who's not, a Raghuram Rajan is, if Adani is indeed being favored by the Modi government, wouldn't investment in Adani be risky given we are 15 months away from the national elections? If you are so firm in believing that Adani is supported by the government, why would you want him to be invested in 15 months before the national elections? What if the government of the day does not remain? And yet the investors are showing their confidence. And again, I'll break it down for Mr. Srivastav here. Mr. Srivastav, LIC's value of purchased equity in Adani was 30,000 crore. That was the value at which they purchased. The value of that equity today is 56,000 crore rupees. So even with all the capital being wiped out, the way you're saying the LIC is in profit with Adani shares, please understand.
Lies are circulated by you people. What is the exposure? 2.5 lakh crore loans against the assets of 2.31 lakh crore. And what is the valuation?
Okay, Mr. Srivastav, I asked this. Mr. Srivastav,
Have you heard about the PMC Bank?
Okay, one at a time.
No, it doesn't work that way, Mr. Srivastav.
Tushar Gupta.
Padmaja, my simple question to Mr. Srivastav is, can he tell the percentage of the LIC exposure to Adani in percentage as a share of the total holdings? Just tell me the percentage of the LIC exposure to Adani.
Go on, Mr. Srivastav, it's a straight enough question. Ravi Srivastav.
What is that question? Please tell me. Tell me the question.
Repeat, Tushar Gupta.
Repeat it.
What is the percentage value of LIC in Adani holdings as compared to the total holdings? You say that people will be on the road, this is crony capitalism, blah, 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 we people spread lies. You tell me the value of LIC holding as a share of the total holdings in percentage when it comes to Adani. Simple, straightforward question. LIC had a press release about this yesterday. Tell us.
Information, it is 87,000 crore. It may be even 5% of the LIC's capital. But issue
Tell us in percentage. Tell us in percentage.
You tell the percentage.
In percentage.
You tell the percentage.
Less than 1%. Padmaja,
It's 0.975%. Okay, Mr. Srivastava, I think, has read the absolute numbers. You're putting him on a spot and it's not fair. It's 0.975%. But anyhow, should there be, Anurag Naidu, hold on a second. This is just to put things in perspective. That is as far as the percentage exposure is concerned. But should there be, Anurag Naidu, now an investigation by a joint parliamentary committee, as they say in Hindi, doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani?
Padmaja, I have a strong objection. Why should we even talk about doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani on a foreign report, whether it is Hindenburg or any other report for that matter? Why should we be so much in panic? Because, you know, let's also understand, Padmaja, of late, the kind of ground India has been gaining on an international platform through this excellent performance and oratory skills by our External Affairs Minister. He's putting India on a global footprint where he's saying that India's growth story is unprecedented and we are ready to lead the world. So entire focus of the world today is on India. Why should we rule out the possibility of a foreign involvement behind this report in order to attack one of India's biggest success stories of all time? So if you have to put a request for a JPC or a CBI or an ED, bring out something which is an evidence of an internal national importance that you have from the ground. All these things, even I would be of the view that, of course, this course correction of an FPO is an exercise that Adani did, more or less to show the world the confidence Indian subscribers or the investors has on the company, and they've proven so. But they don't have to do it. They had to do it because an external agency came in and started questioning the integrity. So done and dusted. If you have really some kind of an iota of research done, and if you have an evidence, please put it on even Times Now or any other national media that you.
But here is the more substantial. You know, irrespective of whether it is a foreign investigation or a foreign report or an Indian report, I have a fundamentally very different question, Akash Deep Muni. Now let's assume for a moment that the charges are right. And this is tainted money, there is manipulation, there is stock market manipulation, there is misrepresentation. So essentially the company is tainted, its money is tainted. Then why is it that you have the same tainted money being taken from the Adani Group in Chhattisgarh, in Rajasthan, in Maharashtra, when the last government, the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, was there in the seat, in Kerala, communists for heaven's sake are taking Adani money, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu. Why? So if the money is so bad and it is people's money and it is loot money, then why are all the same parties who are calling it a loot money are then taking that money and investing it in their state?
I'll reply. First of all, I'll not attach these adjectives. These adjectives are attached by fools. I will not do it. I think one point which my friend Tusharji was saying and my friend now who is with us was saying, that why this, what is the problem in this? Because investors have shown their credit.
No, why are you dodging my question? Why are you dodging my question? I am not asking you that question. My question to you is that Trinamool Congress is demanding a parliamentary investigation into the finances of this group. Then how can the same Trinamool Congress take that same group and say, please come and develop my state, invest in my state?
I'll tell you.
भाई अगर ये LIC और लोगों का लूटा हुआ पैसा है तो वो पैसा लेके अपने स्टेट में क्यों लगा रहे हो? मत लगाओ.
मैं आपको बताता हूँ, it's not about लोगों का लूटा हुआ पैसा. It's about, I'll be going on the specifics. What is the problem in this particular, why people are having a problem?
But sir, I already know the specifics. They are running in the graphics. My question is, now that you have outlined your very specific objections and your very specific fears about the businesses. So here's the thing, sir. Okay? Here's the thing. I am a total layperson, but as I sit there and I look at business transactions, I can only see money. A businessman has money. Now I have politicians telling me that this money is ill-gotten money. But if it is ill-gotten money, why are you accepting that money? Why are those companies, why are those parties accepting that money? And what tune of money? Here is the tune of money. Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone was selected in September 2022 to develop the Tajpur deep sea port. Do you know how much this deep sea port is worth? This investment will entail, this greenfield project will entail a total investment of $3.1 billion. $3.1 billion.
It is not about investment. It is about that Adani Group does not have one company. There are many companies and specific companies.
अरे पर आदमी तो वही है, पैसा तो उसी का है. या वो अदानी पोर्ट्स हो, या अदानी ग्रीन हो, या अदानी गैस हो, जेब में तो एक ही जा रही है.
Padmaja, even now they have
Adani Group
don't want investment from Adani.
By shell companies.
Are then all the more reason you should not take his money. So much ghapla, so much shell, so much problem. Why are you taking that money?
It's not about taking. Investment is not taking. Investment is they are investing in a state that is there is no.
Investment to bhai,
they get a profit.
Okay.
Who is inviting?
Okay, Anurag Naidu. You know, I really, sir, I am pretty certain that you are very clever and you know, आप investment, ये तो ये हुआ ना कि मैं किसी की जेब काट करके मैं उसका FD खोल लूँ तो वो ठीक थोड़ा हो जाएगा कि भाई हाँ मैंने जेब काटी बट मैंने उसका FD खोल दिया तो अब वो सब सफेद हो गया.
मैडम इन्वेस्टमेंट पे टैक्स रेट अलग होते हैं, पैसा लेने पे टैक्स रेट अलग होते हैं, दोनों अलग-अलग चीजें.
तुषार गुप्ता, what do you make of this logic? So suddenly we are being told that वो पैसा गंदा है, मोदी सरकार मदद कर रही है, बट जो बंगाल में, केरला में, छत्तीसगढ़ में पैसा आ रहा है, वो कोशर पैसा है, वो अच्छा पैसा है.
नहीं तुषार जी, आपने कुछ क्वेश्चन.
Padmaja, let me give you a fun fact and let's focus on that one state which is governed by the Aam Aadmi Party. You know, in Punjab, where do the farmers go to have their wheat procured by the FCI, the Food Corporation of India? They go to the silos, which ironically are operated by Adani's logistics company. In Punjab, I'm telling you. Now, if the Aam Aadmi Party is going to sit here and pretend that everything is unholy about the Adani company, I'm just going to sit here and laugh. There is no other way of responding to it. And the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson said that there are shell companies. Now, that's a very huge accusation, mind you. If he indeed has the evidence for shell companies, like Arvind Kejriwal had his 300-page proof in 2013, why is he not going to the SEBI? Why is he not going to the CBI? Why is he not going to the regulators? The Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson on national television is claiming that Adani money is routed through shell companies. If he has the evidence, why is he not going to the regulators? Or is he indulging in fear-mongering on national television for a political purpose? That's the question.
I'm going to leave it at that. I'm
going
going to leave it at that. As a final food for thought, let me also say that today we had some more political parties, most notably I just heard Abhishek Banerjee of the Trinamool Congress say that there should be an investigation by the ED and the CBI. Let me remind you that just last year, the same Trinamool Congress held a press conference and said that the ED is nothing more than a handmaiden of the BJP. It is the washing machine where anyone who leaves the TMC and joins the BJP becomes like Lord Ram himself. Now that same ED is being exhorted to investigate Adani's. How much of it is fact and how much of it is politics, I leave to your wisdom. Thanks for watching.
The News Hour at 10. We'll be right back.